Out of the many fictional characters that exist, every now and then you will see a series that has a character who is very strong, but at the same time, very confusing, which leads to them being misunderstood. One Piece is no stranger to this, as there are many characters who have yet to be fully fleshed out to us. Over time, Mihawk has had a lot of growth when it comes to the community's respect for him, but at the same time, there are still people who don't understand the hype, and mainly so, Mihawk's character. What's up guys, my name is Verdix, and today we are going to be talking about why you don't understand Mihawk. If you like videos like these, make sure to subscribe. I make quality content like this weekly, you don't want to miss. But first, do you guys ever go through your wardrobe and realize, damn, I really got no drip? Well, I got you guys with Anime Express. They have tons of amazing hoodies, shirts, pants, and shorts from your favorite series. But that's not it. They have some of the sickest chains and rings in the game to go along with their fit. Personally, I love this Bleach Grimmjow hoodie they got. The quality is amazing and way more than just a print-on picture a lot of these other companies like to put out. On top of this, they have very comfortable prices, so you don't have to spend an unnecessary amount. And if you use code VERDIX10 at checkout, you will get 10% off your order. Link will be in the description. Anime Express, ladies and gentlemen, some of the best quality and prices in the game. The very first time we are introduced to Mihawk was back in Baratie. We hear how while sailing to the Grand Line, the Don Krieg fleet ran into a single man on a raft that was able to effortlessly destroy an entire fleet by himself. Jing even tells Luffy to give up on going there entirely after this encounter. We don't see him until he shows up to Baratie itself, where his now iconic interaction with Zoro would go down. During this arc, people question Mihawk's true want to find a worthy opponent, as he is a true top tier, but if he wants a worthy fight, why is he picking on these bums and on East Blue Zoro? Well, what he means by a worthy opponent isn't just someone strong, but truly worthy in his eyes of taking the title he holds. I've seen many people look at this fight Mihawk had with Zoro, but not the dialogue of this fight. It is during this that obviously Mihawk knows Zoro has no chance in hell, hence why he pulled out a butter knife at the start. As he is testing Zoro's resolve and remarks he isn't a savage that goes all out on a mere rabbit, showing how he never really saw Zoro as anything special until he was stabbed. When Zoro gets pierced by Mihawk's knife, Mihawk asks him why he doesn't step back, since if he won't, he will die. Zoro responds with he doesn't really know, but he feels like if he does step back, he loses something very deep to him in doing so, and that he never be able to go back to where he was then. And when Zoro tells him he'd rather die than step back, Mihawk starts to respect him. He admires the ambition towards his goal, and that he'd rather die than give it up, and that there is a deep reason he has for wanting to become the world's strongest swordsman. But there is still one more thing he needs to test Zoro with here. He has acknowledged his ambition and how much it means to him, but he still has to test his toughness, and if he can endure the pain it means to be on one of the top of the world's strongest swordsmen, as he takes out his black blade and out of respect finishes the battle with it. Not only did Zoro show he was willing to take this blow, he impressed Mihawk here by telling him scars on a swordsman's back is shameful, showing he will never ever turn his back in battle, an attribute that really grew on Mihawk and he shows later. Now, Mihawk does in fact go after weaker opponents, but he is using them as a test. In fact, he's arguably saving them by letting people such as the Don Krieg pirates know they have no chance in a place such as the Grand Line. Mihawk loves to test people's resolve, and I believe that he is worried about the next generation. He does this with the Straw Hats, as he sees a boy aspiring to become the Pirate King along with another one threatening to take his title. Not only does Mihawk test the resolve of Zoro, but he does it as well with Luffy. The first was at the end of Baratie when he asks him about his dreams, which he remarks is a level even higher than him, and sees how he doesn't care if Mihawk believes in him or not because he believes in himself. The next case is at Marineford, where even then he especially notes how Luffy's most dangerous ability has nothing to do with his strength, but his ability to have people follow his lead and become his allies. Mihawk is a lot more than a man of just brute strength. He's a man that wants the new generation to understand the underlying parts of reaching the top and what it truly means. He doesn't want some brute who doesn't care for swordsmanship taking his title. He wants a man of morals and respect to him and all the other men that wield a sword. Now, Marineford was an amazing arc with every character you could want there. One of these guys is Mihawk himself, who is on the side of the world government as one of the 7 warlords of the sea. During the start, it seemed he was a little interested in fighting Whitebeard until he is stopped by Jozu, and later on when he runs into Luffy, where, like I said earlier, allies help out, leading to Mihawk to admire the ability to gain allies. I mean, he even remarks it as one of the most powerful abilities in the sea. This new perspective makes him lose interest in fighting Whitebeard, as well as not wanting to fight an old sick man who, like I said, is pretty much dying, as he does something similar to this with Shanks, and we will get into later. Mihawk admired this ability of Luffy beforehand, but after the war is when he truly admires this, as Zoro's motives have added a lot of depth to them. It is no longer he wants to become the world's strongest swordsman for himself or Kuina. He is fighting for Luffy so he can become Pirate King, as he realizes Luffy becoming Pirate King is more important than him becoming the world's strongest swordsman. Also, at first, Mihawk thought Zoro had lost to the baboons and was asking for a way to escape, but after realizing he beat them and he could leave anytime he wanted, he saw the dedication Zoro has. This now adds a new perspective to Mihawk as he witnesses the only known man he acknowledges can surpass him beg and cry for his teachings. Also, he can help someone else. This is something that has changed in Zoro's character, and in the time skip, it is because of this that Mihawk accepts his plea and teaches him his ways. He not only sees this for Zoro, but becomes even more fond of Luffy's abilities to gain allies, seeing how much it means not just to Luffy himself, but his crewmates as well. We have not seen a group of pirates such as the Straw Hats who have all their own individual dreams, but at the same time need Luffy to become Pirate King and acknowledge how important it means to everything. Mihawk, as a guy who roams the seas alone, probably admires his ability to gain allies so much because of his inability to do so himself. His title and sword is all he has, and we've never seen Mihawk have any personal attachment to anyone. This is until Zoro and Perona enter his life, where for the first time he feels needed by the people who are around him. He never says it out loud, but he worries for Perona and wishes for her not to go after Moria because he doesn't want to stay lonely. In fact, I believe he secretly admires Buggy's way to gain allies as well. While yes, it is a very different way than Luffy does it, but he still, after getting multiple beatings from Mihawk and Crocodile, has a motive and dream people have been blinding into following. Yes, Mihawk alone is a powerhouse, but that house isn't filled with people who necessarily believe in him. Outside of Zoro, another character that is very closely tied to Mihawk is, of course, Shanks. I won't say who I believe is stronger, as that needs a video for itself and will spark up way too much controversy for this video. I want to speak about his relationship with him and why he feels betrayed by him. During Whitebeard's conversation with Shanks, Whitebeard mentions that if people witnessed Mihawk and Shanks battle, they wouldn't be able to stop talking about it to this day. He doesn't talk about any other fight like this, and being one of the strongest to roam the seas of all time, he knows a thing or two about judging battles. And as far as we know, Mihawk's only real connection to anyone before Zoro was Shanks. In fact, he may have viewed him as the only swordsman to come even close to him. As a man who was constantly bored roaming the seas because nothing interested him, Shanks was the only man that gave him something to look forward to. But at the same time, they don't have the same goals and aspirations in life, and Mihawk knows this. He is aware that he can't just go fighting Shanks over and over again for the rest of his life, but he still feels he is a good friend that he can respect and admire. And when he saw him with his arm taken off, this was a harsh perspective for Mihawk. For Shanks, this was him betting on the next generation and proving it to all be worth it. But for Mihawk, this was Shanks telling him that Mihawk doesn't interest him anymore and he's just bored of him, doesn't feel like he needs Mihawk in his life. It could be thought of as a grudge, but still, even when seeing Luffy's bounty poster, he still goes to Shanks so he can know, showing he doesn't view Shanks as an enemy but still a friend. Even when Shanks shows up in Marineford and when Buggy mentions claiming the One Piece and Cross Guilds, he notes that he won't fight Shanks on another's behalf. I don't think this is because of Mihawk being scared of Shanks, but not wanting to fight his friend for another one's cause. Overall, Mihawk is a man who is bored and lonely, and he even misunderstood himself, as at first he was a bit self-centered, but as over time went on, he realized the importance of having people around him that also rely on him. He is very open to new perspectives, and even at that level of strength he obtains, is still searching for not just a good future opponent that will take his title, but he is searching for himself as well. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you did. I've been really expanding into these character analysis videos. If you like these videos, leave a like, as it really helps in the algorithm, and comment any video ideas you have. Make sure to use code VERDICT10 at checkout with Anime Express for amazing streetwear. As always, shout out to Tiberius for the thumbnail. He makes quality thumbnails of his own, and if you would like some of your own, hit him up on Twitter. Link will be in the description. Check out my Twitter at verdicts_ for more of my takes, and without further ado, you guys can get out of here.